Hi, I'm Linda Yarrow. I'm in Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health. And this is a story that I use in class to help students remember what wounds need to heal. The basic premise is you've got to be able to have wounds that don't have a lot of moisture around them because that moisture buildup will restrict the flow of blood, and blood brings oxygen and nutrients. So I share about a time that I was in the hospital after a very serious car accident. I was bedbound and couldn't even get up to use a bedside commode because of all the damage, the broken bones, and the things that I had. I also developed an infection called C. diff, Clostridium diffidus, while I was in the hospital. And that, because of my compromised immune system, that led to episodes of diarrhea, which is associated with C. diff. In my worst 24-hour period, I had 18 episodes of diarrhea, and I'm also bedbound. And so the buttocks were being exposed to a lot of moisture on a regular basis, and my skin was starting to break down. And nursing was getting really concerned because when you have skin breaking down, it opens up opportunities for other infections to take hold. It's a serious thing. And so there was one evening that the nurse's aide, she was an older woman, she was actually a neighbor of mine, a farm wife that worked part-time, and she said, Linda, we have just got to figure out a way to keep your butt cheeks separated so that we can let that skin dry out because of the condition of my skin. And I very sarcastically said, why don't you just tape one butt cheek to the bed rail? Just being sarcastic. And she said, you know what? That might be an idea. And she walks out. She comes back in with a roll of duct tape. And she said, we're actually going to try this. Now, duct tape is not skin approved. I was in shock that she's even going to try it, much less use duct tape. She said, I couldn't find the regular tape, but I did find duct tape. Now, she's a farmer's wife. You use duct tape for everything. And so I didn't say anything because I'm kind of aghast we're actually going to do this. So she takes the duct tape, puts it on one buttock cheek, and to pull it up, and takes the tape across me over to the bed rail and tapes my butt to the bed rail. And it's holding the butt cheeks open. And again, didn't say anything, not sure that, are we both going to get in trouble? Is this going to work? And so the next morning, the nurse comes in, the next shift, and she lifts up the sheet and says, what is going on here? And I just started laughing. It was the first time I had laughed since the car accident, which had been 4 days earlier. And I just started laughing, and I couldn't hardly stop, which hurt because I had broken ribs. And I explained to her what happened, and the nurse was laughing too. And she goes, you know what? But it's working. She goes, this is looking so much better. So what was happening is we were letting air get exposed to the skin that was breaking down because moisture was no longer being trapped from the constant diarrhea episodes. And the wounds actually started getting better. We left me taped to the bed rail for 24 hours to keep some airflow to remove that moisture. And so the wound actually started healing. And so when I share that story, of course, I dramatize a lot more with my students. So it helps students remember that you need circulation of blood to get oxygen and nutrients to get wound healing. And so wounds need to be dry, not totally dry, but dry enough. And I've had students email me later, that they answered a medical exam, or they answered a dietetics credentialing exam question, or a nursing question about what wounds need because they remembered that story. And they also get enjoyment out of trying to visualize, my butt cheeks being taped, because I really play that up just to make it humorous. So stories that have emotional connections, it had a personal connection to someone that they knew. I could dramatize it, I could make it funny, but I got across a very important concept that really sticks with the students. And duct tape should not be used on butts, on skin. That's another lesson that sticks with them. Thank you.